Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Saturday, July 4th. I hope everyone is enjoying their 4th of July weekend. Doing this video, my Sunday levels just a little bit early here today. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit hectic for me, so figured I'd try to get this video out, put it out there tonight, and you'll receive, those of you that receive my weekend report on all of the weekly bands and tradable levels for the upcoming week. You should be receiving that in your email shortly. And there's about 2,500 traders that are currently on that list. And if you'd like to be on it, all you got to do is just go to my website, which is www.robstrades.com. And right on the homepage, there'll be a place for you to put your name and your email. And again, it's one email report every single Sunday that comes out with all my bands, all my tradable levels for the upcoming week in the NQ, ES, and in gold markets. This was kind of an up and down week. Up for the week in general, but I don't know. I think could have been better. And I think price action was pretty decent. I mean, nothing super crazy, at least nothing that I can remember from right now from last week that really shocked me. Kind of rangy, we've had some pretty big 400 or 500 point moves to the upside. We retrace the entire move to the downside. We just come right back, we retrace back to the upside. But, within those swings, there's obviously some good trading opportunities as well. And I'm looking forward to July. I know most traders say July is going to be, typically is a slower week or a slower month. But if you take a look at July from last year, it was rocking. I know we had tariffs in place, and there was a lot of movement in July of last year. So I don't know. I'm optimistic about the month. That's for sure. And a few things that I want to give you guys some updates on. If you guys have been watching the live streams each and every morning, I say thank you. Thanks for the support. Hopefully you guys are learning my style of order flow, volume-based trading. I think it's a pretty straightforward approach. I think I go over it during the streams constantly. I get a lot of questions from viewers on there, and I do try to answer all of them. So if you've been wondering, I wonder how Trader Rob trades, the streams in the morning is a great place to start. And I stream every single morning from 7 a.m. Central Time, so about an hour and a half before the New York Open. And I typically go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours into the market. So within that time, there's a lot of stuff that's talked about, and a lot of my strategies are explained. And again, if you got any questions, it's a great place to pop in and ask that. Secondly, I am running a 4th of July sale. I run one sale every single year. I am not, if you guys have been watching me, I've really never ever ran a sale on any of my on any of the services that I do offer, apart from the live streams and the videos that I come out with. And if you have been considering joining my Signal group, now what does the Signal group entail? Signal group is it's a Signal service that I created February 2025, and since then the signals have been averaging about 74 to 75% accuracy rate on signals. And the unique part about the signals is it's not what I would see in your typical signal room, where if the main trader is looking to take a setup, he's entering into a trade, he then goes into the Signal group and then says, hey, I just entered long, this is where my target is at. This is not that. This is not that type of Signal group. These are very detailed scalpable signals on the ES and the NQ that give you clear entry, clear stop loss, clear TP1, clear TP2, with ample time. I mean, I'm talking about ample time to get your setups in, to place them on your chart, leave your resting limit orders. There's many videos in that Signal group that go over one, the trades, two, how to trade the signals. If you are going to be that type of trader that are just going to be leaving resting limit orders, I give you guys some videos on what to look for confirmations on my signals. And apart from the signals, which have been very, very successful over, I don't know, the 15 months that I've been doing it, you get the average stop loss on my NQ signals is about 8 points, which is, you know, in a high flying market like the NQ, to have a stop of 8 points and to have that high of a win rate, in my mind, is pretty impressive. I truly believe that it is very impressive. And, you know, I have some unfortunate losers. You know, those are going to be the ones where, again, a headline news comes out. It's going to be the market open, where, you know, volume is not necessarily respected. It's more the volatility that's actually entering in the market, or it's the volatility, the volume that leaves the market, specifically in a high impact news that will cause the markets then to crater up or down really, really quickly. You know, those are hard to control. And then there'll be a few that just plain lose. But I would say over the hundreds of signals that I have provided, I really can't remember a signal that just got blown through and the market just kept ripping up to the top side. I really can't even remember them. I'm sure there's got to be a few examples of them out there, but for the most part, you know, I would say that my more unfortunate losers on the signal group is going to be the signals where, you know, we get entered in on a limit order, we sweep stop loss, and then we sweep by a couple of points, and then we ricochet to the bottom side. Second unfortunate situation that comes out with the signals is I missed the signal by a few ticks. If you ask my signal members, if you go on to my Discord and just throw it out there, they will tell you that more than not, the ones that end up losing are going to be the ones where we miss our entry, our limit order by a tick or two, three ticks, a point. On the NQ, we're talking about, like, you know, based on recent volatility, I mean, it's almost, you can't even see it on a chart. And you know, then it'll go down, hit my TP1, TP2. You know, and that's the move. That's the move that I saw. That's the move that I see on the chart. That's the move that I see with volume. So again, the losers are the unfortunate ones, but there's always going to be losing in trading. Nothing is going to be 100%. But again, the win rate is now over, what is it, 15 months? Over 15 months of data we have behind the signals. If you go into my Discord, you could see the performance on every single month, every single signal that gets posted, that we take the actual trade. Every single signal is posted on there. You can see which ones hit TP1, which ones hit TP1 and 2, which ones hit stop loss, if it was short, long, the date that it was posted. So fully transparent, it's all out there. So I do run the signal service group that typically runs, it's always run $59 a month. I also, a part of that, I have a live trading room within the signal group. So it's its own separate portal. It's not connected to YouTube. And there is less than there's about a 1 second delay in the lag, which is much, much less than the YouTube lag. So, you know, it's like these traders are really almost sitting right next to me trading with me, which is a lot of fun. So we do have some extended live trading room in the signal group. I answer questions every single day in the trading group. And like I said, I think it's a really nice resource for the investment. And if you use the code July4, there is a link in the description below to join my signal group. If you pop that code in, July 4th, which is only going to be valid until Monday, July 6th, it will knock off 25% off the monthly cost. So I believe it brings it down to about I think it's about $44 a month, which again is a very, very small investment. honestly, one signal that you take with a few micros pays for the signal service for the entire month. So again, I think it's a small investment, but I think it's a great investment into something that, you know, genuinely is not something that you're chasing. It's something that's concrete. You know exactly what the game plan is. You know exactly what we're looking for, and you've got ample time to actually plan for the day. And apart from that, I also offer a volume masterclass that's been really well received. A lot of people have taken a part of that, and that really goes a deep dive into how I trade with volume, how I trade with order flow. I think I'm up to 14 or 15 modules in there, so there's constantly new modules coming in. The AVT, my AVT strategy is in there. How I trade absorption with my market bubbles is in there. How I trade with my footprint charts, what I'm looking for in my flips, how I find my key levels. I mean, everything is in there. It's an A to Z, very detailed approach. And that typically costs $195. Again, that one's 25% off of that as well. So some good discounts for July 4th. It's USA's 250th year, or I should say birthday. So I figured, why not, if I'm going to offer it once a year, might as well offer in these next couple of days. So if you want to take advantage of it, awesome. If you don't, no problems. A lot of my instruction, a lot of the things that how I trade are well documented on YouTube. My website, which is robstrades.com, has got a lot of great free resources. My Discord, I post all of my bands, my levels, my daily bands and levels, not the weekly ones. The weekly ones come out on Sunday, but every single morning, 2 hours before the market opens, they're posted onto Discord. Gives you a great roadmap every single day, what to look for on the ES, the NQ, and in gold. So there's a lot of really good free resources. I'm not saying you have to pay for anything, but if you do want to take advantage of it and you've been thinking about it in the past, maybe the July 4th sale might help some of you. All right, so that was a mouthful. Let's get into how the weekly bands and levels reacted from last week. We'll get into our new bands for this week, and I'll give you guys a roadmap for the ES, the NQ, and in gold right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so now that I got the disclaimer out of the way, let's just start off with gold. Gave you guys, I believe, 2 bands. Let's see here. Yep, gave you guys a band here at the 40.26 to the 39.94. And then gave you one to the top side at the 42.16 to the 41.86. This is Sunday right here, the 28th. This is when my last video came out. So prior to the Sunday open. So let's see, we did, I think this was Monday. Yep, this was Monday right at the New York Open. We tapped into this weekly band right here. And you can see on the first tap, we did reject, the band did reject price action right here. Probably for about a good, what was this here? 25, almost to 46, from the 40.25 all the way up to the 40.47. Remember, I'm in a 15-minute chart here, so this is on pretty much the entire morning and almost early afternoon of the New York Open on Monday. So we rejected off the band, bounced right back off of it, came right back in, bounced off of it, came right back in, bounced off of it again. As I state in every single Sunday, every single one of my videos, there's really only 3 ways to get through these weekly bands. It's going to be some high impact news. It's going to be scheduled news, or multiple retaps into the same band. Well, obviously, as the market will always prove, every support resistance, every band, every supply and demand will eventually get broken. So, all right. So we finally came through. We busted up through this band again, came back, tapped into the band. We're kind of rotating around this band for a good amount of time. And then I believe we did finally on Thursday, almost around midnight, pretty much all the way through Friday, which I know Friday was kind of a shortened, or it was a shortened trading day. But we finally busted into this band, and as you can see, the band has rejected price action about 3 times here. Not a huge rejection to the downside, but as of right now, the band has done its job. All right, now let's take a look and see what kind of updates we've got for the bands coming up. In gold, let's start from the bottom. Let's start with this guy. Let's change this guy up. 40.02.2 to the 3971.5. Again, that's going to be the 40.02.2 to the 3971.5. Okay, so that's going to be our first weekly band sitting below where price action is currently at. Our next band is going to be at the 4145.3 to the 4111.4. Again, that's going to be the 4145.3 to the 4111.4. And then I believe this band's right here. So this band, guys, I'm going to leave for right now. That's in here. We've obviously had multiple retaps into this band. So this band is not going to have the same type of reaction as one of these fresh bands that are sitting above and below currently where the band's at. So, and then you also got this Sunday Open coming up tomorrow. So we might even gap up, we might gap up right here. We could gap to the downside as well. So just be careful with this band as we've tapped into this. We've been sitting in this band for almost a day. So again, that's my 2 cents there. All right, let's get into the, let's go over the ES first of all, because I got an easy update on this one. All right, let's first start off. Let's go back to last Sunday. Tuesday. How do I feel? Okay, Monday. Okay, so Monday. All right, this one. I remember this one because I was looking at this one on my trading. I had this mapped out on my platform. I did switch over platforms as well. I made a switch from... I still have my NinjaTrader charts. I've got my NinjaTrader cash accounts. I've got a bunch of accounts still linked with NinjaTrader through Tradable. But I have made the platform switch to deep charts. If you are interested in deep charts or you want to see what it looks like, look at the tools. Again, join my live stream. I am trading it pretty much full time now on the charts live on the YouTube channel. And I do have the full license for it. I've got the full deep DOM. I've got all of the premium features to deep charts. Paid for that about a week ago, and I am, as of right now, extremely happy with the platform. I do plan on creating some videos on the platform for those that are, for any of the traders that are interested in it. But again, if you're an order flow trader, it is a fantastic platform. And I forgot where I was going with that whole spiel, but let's get into the band. So we finally got into the band. This was, I believe, on Tuesday. We finally entered into the band. We did sweep the top of the band here. We came through. Again, not a huge rejection of the band. When the bands don't react how I expect them to react, I let you guys know this was not a great reaction to this band. The band did fight off price action for a good amount of time, for almost a day and a half. But in the end, the band really did get broken. Now, what I will show you, which I think was pretty freaking awesome, was the signal that I gave you at the 75.93. I don't know what you guys can, what you guys can say about this one, but that was right to the tick. That was pretty much the top tick to the market on Thursday. Literally, it was the exact top of the market on Thursday. That's 75.93 level that I gave you guys with. So this one right here was an absolute banger. Absolute banger. Super happy about that one. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove this band. And now let's get into our new tradable bands and levels for the ES. As far as bands, we've only got one new band. And that one, oh, you know what? I think I have one more band I got to delete. No, I don't. We already got them gone. All right, new band is going to sit at the 74.59 to the 74.08. Again, that's going to be the 74.59 to the 74.08. Boom. So sitting below where price action is currently at. So we've got this band. We've got, I believe, is that the only band that we had to the top side? I thought we had one more to the top side, but maybe we don't. No, I think we're pretty high up on the ES here. All right, so yeah, these are the only two bands currently that we have on the horizons on the ES, the 74.59 and the 73.02. We also got this tradable level still sitting here at the 73.50. But I do have three new tradable levels for you. I have two because I already got the 73.50. Let's pop this guy in. This one is going to be at the 75.32. 75.32. And this one is sitting below where price action is currently at. Again, I'm going to give you guys the disclaimer I give every single Sunday. We have a tradable level. It's obviously pretty close to where price action is currently at. You got to be super careful with the Sunday open. We usually have a gap, either going to be to the upside. We can maybe even gap to the downside. If we gap to the downside, guys, we're not going to be taking a long from here. If we gap to the upside and we come back down, yes, we're looking to fade that move. If we gap down here, what I would be playing is a fade back down to the downside off of this level. Okay, so just be super careful with the levels and the bands that are extremely close to where Friday's close was and where the possibility of Sunday's open gap is going to be at. And the last tradable level on the ES is going to be at the 74.58. 74.58. And this one's sitting right at the top of our weekly band right here, guys. A+. A+ level, 74.58. In fact, all of these are A+ levels, but that's all I'm going to say. All right, now let's go over to the NQ. The NQ. All right, so what updates do we have to make to... I got two bands that I've got to adjust. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one right here. You know what? Let's start off with... Let's get these guys out of the way. Let's get to the first. Oh, shit. I totally forgot to go over the bands. Crappers. All right. Shit. All right. Let me pop in these bands in here. So these are our new bands for this upcoming week. 30.141 to the 30.73. And again, that's going to be the 30.141 to the 30.73. Okay, so this is going to be our new band, our new weekly band sitting above where price action is currently at on the NQ. Our second band is going to be at the 29.602 to the 29.517. Again, that's the 29.602 to the 29.517. Okay, so these are your two new weekly bands for the NQ. First one's at the 30,141. Second one is at the 29,602. I've got a bunch of new tradable levels for you guys on the NQ as well. First one's going to be sitting at the 30,41, 30,041. Okay, sitting above where price action is currently at. Second tradable level on the NQ is going to be at the 29,578. 29,578. Okay, sitting in this weekly band down here. Again, A plus level. And our third and final tradable level is going to be, I think it's a little bit below that one, 29,549. 29,549. Yep. So we've got a sandwich of a level right here. This is going to be the band for this week on the NQ. Please take a note of this band right here. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot of information to give out. Again, hopefully everybody's enjoying their 4th of July weekend. Look forward to trading with you guys back on Monday. If you want to take advantage of the 25% off sale, just use code July4th. The links to the Signal service or the masterclass are in the description below. And again, if you also want to receive my free report every single Sunday, that's got all the bands, all of the tradable levels in a quick email that you get on Sunday. Again, just pop over to my website, the link below as well, and just put in your email and your name, and I'll take care of the rest. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys on Monday.